I chose to research genetic engineering in plants. Genetic engineering is the emerging field of recombinant DNA technology. It's done by using tools to insert, alter, or cut out pieces of DNA that contain genes of interest. Genetic engineering of plants started in the 1980s, and there's been a greater understanding of DNA within the last 50 years, which has allowed for genetic engineering to develop very rapidly. Here's a video that just explains what genetic engineering is a little bit better.
So, what is genetic engineering? Genetic engineering is when the genetic code of an organism is altered to produce a desired trait. This is done by taking a gene from one and inserting it into the DNA of another to get the wanted end result. To get a better sense of how this is done, let's first understand how DNA works. In any living thing, the DNA acts as the instruction manual for the body. Certain genes code for certain proteins, which in turn make up all the different parts of the organism. Any trait that you can think of is coded by DNA. Now, once you know what codes for what, you can use genetic engineering to essentially edit the parts you want, to some extent. All living things use the same genetic code, DNA, made from the same 4 bases, so scientists can use special enzymes to cut parts of the DNA from one living thing and sort of sew them onto the DNA of the target. The result is then a living thing that has a new gene and a new feature as a result of that gene.
That video kind of just explains and shows how they recombine and split apart the DNA sequence genes. Plants are generated through genetic engineering are called GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. These new plant varieties can be created to resist pests, to improve the nutritional profile of food, and to provide different uses for the foods. Right now, they're only focusing on cotton, corn, and soybeans, but they're hoping to change to different types of food, more feed, and to help human health. Crops produced through genetic engineering have more nutritional value, longer shelf lives, provide better yields, and have increased resistance to pests, drought, and frost. Some new technologies include genome editing, synthetic DNA components, and artificial chromosomes. Genome editing is using site-directed nucleases to mutate targeted DNA sequences. So they target certain sequences to take those out and put new ones in. And synthetic chromosomes are exactly that. They're just man-made chromosomes made to mimic an actual chromosome. With the advancements being made within the STEM community, they're looking into widening the variety of plants that have been modified. So there are many people in favor of genetic engineering and against. This section is a little bit more broad, not just about plants, but like human engineering and that sort of thing. So those who are in favor of genetic engineering see that it offers potential to cure some diseases or disorders. They see that it can prevent diseases if the genes are exposed to them previously, and they see that crops are now resistant to herbicides and pesticides. Those against genetic engineering think that it could be negative or dangerous. They think that there's unknown consequences, and they think that it goes against the natural order. So that they like believe in God or whatever, they believe that humans were made how they were made. So that goes against those beliefs. They also believe that people will suffer from obsolescence. So currently they have desire for these traits, but down the road there's going to be new traits that are desired, and the people with the old traits are just going to be a thing of the past. And they think it's dehumanizing because it creates people who are basically superhuman and have traits that everyone desires. This is the poster I created for the community. I explained what genetic engineering was. I told basically some different aspects of genetic engineering. I think this could help the community because it shows exactly what genetic engineering is, and it allows people to learn more than they would before by seeing this poster in public. My questions are: do you think synthetic chromosomes will thrive? Why or why not? Pick a side either for or against genetic engineering. It doesn't have to be your actual side that you agree with, but choose a side and list a few reasons that support that view. And would you buy foods produced with GMOs? Why or why not?